another episode of 8th Arrow Whispering. And on today's episode, we are going to be going through a little mock draft for the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, if you watched my previous video, you will know that I was debating whether I just wanted to talk about it and talk about all the rumors of the draft or all the previous mock drafts that have already been done, and my thoughts on what I'd like the Panthers to do, or if I want to do a mock draft myself. And so I have decided to do a mock draft myself. Now, keep in mind, I am no expert when it comes to the draft. I have no idea what most of these teams need, or what they're likely going to do. So I am not going to do a team by team pick. I am solely going to pick for the Carolina Panthers. And really, for the Carolina Panthers, I only know the first round of the players that look good, that I would like the Panthers to get, if not trade back, and all that jazz. Past round one, I don't know a whole lot, so we're just gonna do the first round, maybe the first 2 rounds. Now I'm gonna select 2 or 3 rounds just because I've noticed if you only do the first round, there are no trades that happen. So I'm gonna do at least the first 2 and see what kind of trades we can make, if any. We might stay put and just take best available or who I want at 8. So with that being said, let's jump into it. We'll also talk about, we will talk about what picks the other teams make, at least to the first few, because I do have some thoughts on certain teams. Really, one team, 2 teams, including the Panthers. So I have thoughts on the Panthers, what they should do, what I want them to do, and then also on one other team of what I want to see them do. But we will jump into that. Go ahead, give me a like on this video, comment down below what you want your team to do in the upcoming draft, and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted in the future when I post. With that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, so here we are at the draft, which has already started. Tennessee Titans take Cam Ward, which, no surprise there. I think that's the consensus number 1 pick for across the board is Cam Ward going to the Titans. Browns took Abdul Carter, which, we're already up. Let me hide this and we'll get to it. Browns took Abdul Carter. Not a bad selection. I personally don't want that to happen, but we'll get to that in a minute. Giants take Travis Hunter. Patriots take Armand Membo, offense tackle. Jags take Tyler Warren. I haven't seen that in many mock drafts. I haven't seen them taking him. I've seen it in a lot of mock drafts. I've seen them taking Mason Graham, which I don't think would be a bad move for them. However, I guess they could use some offensive help. Well, no, because they got Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I think they should go Mason Graham. But Raiders, Ashton Genty, I've seen that in a lot of mocks. And then Jets, Mason Graham. I mean, if he's there, might as well. I've seen in a lot of mocks the Jets taking offense tackle or wide receiver. Now we do have some trade offers to look at, so let's see what those trade offers are. I'm not opposed to the Panthers trading back if the price is right. 25, 58, second and third for next year. 11 and 43. I don't hate that, honestly. And I'm tempted to go with that one. 21 and 83. I bet Pitt's in this scenario. Pitt's coming up to get Shador. Saints taking Shador at 9. Oh, and their first pick for next year. See, here's my thing. If a team offers us to go back and a first rounder for next year, I'm a lot more likely to take it. So for this one, like going back to 21, yeah, I think I would take that. And I have a player who I'd have my eye on in the 20 range who I think we could get. And I think Pitt's coming up to get Shador, which would keep him from the Saints, which I want. I don't want the Saints to get Shador because I think Shador is going to be good. I am a believer in Shador Sanders. Now I understand the talk around Shador seems to be divided, and I understand it's hard to judge him in college because he didn't have a great offensive line to give him a lot of time, so he was always being rushed and bombarded, so you don't get a really good sense of how he's going to do behind, like, if he's behind a good offensive line. He might need some more time to polish it, but I think he's Deion Sanders' kid, so he's got the traits, he's got the DNA, so I do think he's going to be good, and I don't want to take the chance on the Saints getting him and being this all-star. I'd rather see him thrive on another team. I do think, I'll jump off this in a minute, but I do think it's ridiculous that Colorado is retiring his jersey. I don't think he did nearly enough in the last 2 years at Colorado for them to retire his jersey. But, you know, and obviously the only reason he's getting his jersey retired is because Deion's the coach there, for sure. But I am going to accept this trade from Pittsburgh. I'm hoping they'll jump up and get Travis Hunter with this pick, or not Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders with this pick. So we will see. Yep, they take Shador, and I'm hoping. I don't think I would have, if I stayed there, I probably would have taken Jalen Walker. I knew he wouldn't be available now at 21. Or honestly, for the Panthers, I think they're going to take I think they're going to take Jalen Walker at 8, unless there's just too good of a trade to pass up like that. If there's any trade that has a first rounder for next year attached to it, unless it completely takes you out of the first round, I say jump on it. Now that's, I don't know, maybe don't, I don't know. Anyway, now the people I'm looking for the Panthers, Jalen Walker seems to be the guy at 8 if we stay in pick. But I also like really a lot of defensive players. Mikael Williams, and he was priority taken, which it looks like Mikael Williams is available, so that'll probably be our pick here. But Will Johnson, he'd be another one that I'm tempted by, Will Johnson, but I really want to shore up our front seven and, take a note out of the Eagles' book. They just bombarded Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And so I think if we could really just get our defensive tackles and defensive linemen, like if we can get that filled, that would help our secondary so much. So I am going to stay put. And now I wasn't thinking Mikael Williams was going to be available or Mike Green. They're both available and both are tempting. If they weren't available, who I was thinking was going to be available was James Pierce. But I thought they'd be gone, so Jahad Campbell as well is another one that I like. But with Mike Green being here and Mikael Williams, either one I'm good with. Let's see what the trades are. Trade back 2 spots. See, again, that's only 2 spots back. I wouldn't take that one because it takes us out of the first round altogether. And that's a third for next year. What is 250? What pick is that? Is that a 4th or 5th rounder? is getting a third rounder for next year and just moving back one spot. And yeah. So we'll see here. Again, moving one spot back, totally okay with. I don't think this is what's actually going to happen in the draft. This is just what the scenarios are giving me, but give me those picks, dude. Alright, they took my green, which I figured. Okay, again, one spot back. And some more picks. There's a few spot backs, but a second rounder for next year. Pick 28. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and just loading up on those picks for next year. Giving up 230 for this year. We'll go ahead and just stay put. And we'll take Mikael Williams. I like Mikael. I think he'll be good. So we'll go ahead and stay put there. Now, like I said earlier, there's another team who I really want to see do something, and I was curious because I've done a few mock drafts where they've offered me some trades, and I was curious if that was going to happen again. But the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to tell you what I want the Cleveland Browns to do. I want them to go full draft day with Kevin Costner, regardless of how unrealistic that movie is. I want them to go full draft day and give their fans something to be excited about. Abdul Carter, that's exciting. You know, him and Myles Garrett together, that's scary. But I want them to go Travis Hunter with their second pick. And then I want them to trade back into the first round and get Shedeur Sanders. Keep them together. They've played well together. They know each other. Keep them together. Let that be your dynamic duo for years to come. You know, wash away the Deshaun Watson stuff. Wash away the years of misery for your fans and get Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and let them continue on together. It's possible. It is possible you can trade back into the first round. Why not? Like I said before in previous mock drafts when I've seen them do this. I paused the draft. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. In previous mock drafts, I've seen them trade up for me, and they have the 33rd pick, so the first pick in the second round. And they've offered me that pick along with some others, and then next year's first round pick. And that's a tough one to go with because it takes us out of the first round. But it gives us that first pick for like a first rounder, having two first rounders next year. I don't know. It's really nice when you have two first rounders. I've never seen it for the Panthers. I've seen it for other teams, but never for the Panthers. And if we could load up for picks next year, I don't hate that. And if we could get James Pierce I don't think we could, but if we could get him at 33, even better. Or what we could do is trade back and then take a couple of our other picks and trade back into the first round for someone like James Pierce, or if Mikael Williams were to fall that far, Jahad Campbell. There are things we could do. But dude, Cleveland Browns, your fans deserve something like that. I think it'd be great. I think for Shedeur and Travis to stay together, they already have that chemistry down. Just go for it. Pull the trigger. Houston did that when they got C.J. Stroud, right? They got Will Anderson, or they drafted C.J. Stroud and then traded right back up and got Will Anderson. Dude, why not? Why not? Now, granted, I know they have, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Alright, that's fine. Joe Flacco can mentor Shedeur. I don't know. I think that'd be exciting. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. So, I'll get off that. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, let me know what you think. If you like that, if you don't like that, why not? Alright, we'll go ahead and resume the draft. So far in our trades, we got a third for next year and a first. And I guess pick 57 was the result of that trade. Sorry, my neighbor just left. Okay. So we received pick 22. And then a third. And then we received pick 87. So let's see what we did with... Alright, let's pause it again. Sorry, I'll look at what other teams are doing. But alright, so we got 83, pick 21, 83, and then next year's first. Alright, and then at 21, we got pick 83. Oh yeah, then we got pick 22 and a third rounder. Okay. So we had 4 extra picks out of those trade packs. Alright, now we'll resume the draft. And we'll pick again at 57. Here's where I don't really know, like, the players to pick. I know all our first rounder people, but I know we need a cornerback, a wide receiver. I think our offensive line, although we could use people for the future, I think in the immediate future, I think we're okay right now. So I don't think we really need to prioritize that. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if this year our defense was so bad last year. I would not be mad if this year we just solely focus on defense, because it was horrendous last year. But okay, let's see. So we have Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. Yeah, all those are pretty. Again, I haven't. Yeah. In the mock drafts I've usually seen Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter flipped, and like I said, Jaguars and a lot of the mocks I've seen have taken Mason Graham, but the wide receiver from Arizona, McMillan, the Saints took him, and I've seen a lot of people, or some people, mock him to us at 8. I don't want that. I don't want to take another receiver, man. Just see how it works out with Leggett and Coker, and let's do one more year. They did enough. We just need to shore up our defense. We could have won a lot more games last year if our defense didn't give up so many points. So give the receivers another chance. Let them, give them another year, and let's just focus on defense this year. San Fran took Jalen Walker. They need help on defense. They were really good at it in free agency. It's gonna be. I think they'll be fine, but they lost a lot of pieces. Colston Loveland, Will Johnson, cornerback. Yeah, I like him. I want to be. Again, I think we need to focus on our defensive line, and I think that'll help out our secondary if we can rush the quarterback and get to him quicker. But if we were to take Will Johnson, I wouldn't be upset. I'd rather him than a receiver. Yeah, Mike Green. I could be either one of these. I'll be fine with Mikael Williams or Mike Green. I don't see Mikael Williams falling that far in the draft. I think he'll go a lot quicker than that. Jahad Campbell, I think he'll be good. And then James Pierce, I've seen him going a lot in the late, at the end. But I think he'll be, I know last year when, I was watching a video and it was, basically a year out. That was after the draft last year, and they did a 2025, what the mock could look like. And I know James Pierce was mocked to go. He was originally supposed to be like a top 5 pick, looking at number 1. However, I guess the production just wasn't there this year, and it wasn't as good. So he's realize this is a automated scenario. This is not how it goes down in real life. I doubt they would. I don't think anyone's going to offer us a first round pick for next year for this year. For 8th overall pick. I don't think we'll get offered a first rounder for next year for our 8th overall pick. Unless it is from like the Browns for Shedeur Sanders. And again, that would move us out of the first round for this year. Which, yeah, I necessarily don't necessarily want that, but it just depends on how the board's falling. If we could always trade back into the first round with the other picks we have, because we have, I think, like 9 picks this year. So anyway, yeah, Jackson Dart. So this has the Browns taking a quarterback with the 33rd pick, and I've seen that in some mocks where with their 33rd pick they'll take Jalen Milroe. Who's the other Shuck? Let's see if we can find him on here. The other quarterback, his last name Shuck, Tyler Shuck from Louisville, or Jalen Milroe, or Jackson Dart. But I just think it'd be fun for Cleveland to keep Shedeur and Travis Hunter together, let them continue that growth, and I think that'd be a lot of fun to see. So that's my hope for the Browns. At 57, like I said, I don't really know. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot of like pieces here. Landon Jackson, we get another edge. Jalen Noel from Iowa State. I don't know. I'm just sort of guessing at this. I don't really know. But it doesn't really look like any of these. Yeah, I guess. Go ahead and Landon Jackson or trade back TJ Sanders. But it's just a guess at this point. We'll just say Landon Jackson just for the heck of it. But yeah, I don't know how the draft's gonna shape up. I'm excited for it. I always enjoy watching the draft. It's always a fun time seeing who goes where, and there's never nearly as many trades as are, I guess, talked about. But okay, so in the end results, we got Mikael Williams, edge, and Landon Jackson, and then we got more picks than this, but since we didn't do the full draft, it doesn't show them all because they were for this year's draft. But first rounder for next year and a third rounder would be pretty great. And to still come away with Mikael Williams, if this is how it worked out, I would be a pretty stoked Panthers fan. But again, I don't think it's likely that anyone offers up a first round pick for next year for the 8th overall pick. But crazier things have happened. So, alright guys, that'll be it for this video. I'll be back next week with a reaction to the draft and results and what the Panthers did and all that jazz. And if the Browns went ahead and pulled the trigger and got both Shedeur and Travis, that would be a lot of fun. But like I said, let me know in the comments below who you want your team to take, who your favorite players in this draft are, and yeah, give me a thumbs up. But I appreciate you guys as always, and I hope you have a fantastic night, and